Okay, number 4, direct response copywriter. So this one's very close to my heart because I think it's one of the most lucrative kinds of copywriting. It's something that I really respect and look up to with regards to people who can write very good direct response copywriting, because it's quite difficult to get your head around initially. So direct response essentially is how you use words in a long form to sell services, products, online information, and that sort of thing. So it's used to sell financial services, ebooks, digital products, any range of things. And direct response takes time to really master. And there are masters of direct response who are almost like celebrities in the online marketing world. Gary Bencivenga, Dan Kennedy, who has his own information and marketing empire. Heaps of people. If you just Google it, there's people who have mastered direct response and just really understand how powerful it is and how it can be used to sell and to make a lot of money selling your products. So this is one that I'm be happy to talk your ear off about. But essentially, it is about using the power of words to sell. So looking at how language influences people's decisions, and this will just be a drop in the ocean. I'm skimming the top of what direct response is all about, but I'd totally encourage you to look more into just exactly what is entailed and why it's a great way to really get established and make some good money as a direct response copywriter. So what does a direct response copywriter do? They write in a certain way to get people to respond in some way. So the key here is response. So clicking, sharing, liking, subscribing, buying, whatever it is. It means you're writing in a way that gets people to read your content. So you first get that attention, which is very hard because people, now have such short attention spans. Getting the interest up from nothing, essentially, creating that desire, and getting action. That's down to the basic AIDA model: attention, interest, desire, action. Now the action can be any one of those things I just mentioned, or that's written here as well: clicking, sharing, liking, subscribing, buying. And if you don't have the response, then it's not true direct response copywriting, because as the name suggests, it's about having the reader directly respond to your ad. So essentially it's what's called sales in print. If you're really good, you'll never ever have trouble finding work again, because it means that you're worth, and a very high amount of money to someone who can utilize your skills to help them make more sales of their product. So it becomes a very easy value proposition. You can say to clients, I can sell more of your product for you. How much are you currently making on each lead? I can get more people to respond, to like, to subscribe, to buy. If you can give me a chance, I can show you how I can do that. So that sort of argument becomes very possible, and it's very compelling because people like results. So a direct response copywriter is all about results, and the pressure is on you, and it does take time to get really good, but once you get good, you'll never go back. So why they're in high demand? It's because virtually no one knows how to use response to get knows how to use words to get response. So direct response, while difficult to master, has they have a very set have a set of easily learnable rules that improve response. So basic things like the headline is one of the most important things in copywriting. Using shorter words which help make it easier to read and that sort of thing. These rules are easy, but then there's more interesting psychological rules that take time to master. But essentially it's about writing a sales letter that can bring in $2 for every $1 that's invested. So for example, you can write copy online, and then if it turns out that every lead who's visiting the site or the page costs $1, if overall the value of each customer that comes as a result of that copy is $2, then you're a rainmaker. If it's $1 to $3, you're a selling genius. So they're in high demand for a reason, and it's because they can really bring in the moolah. So how do you become a direct response copywriter? It's a very long path, but the rewards are fantastic. The good news is I think it is the oldest form of copywriting. There are masters that go back to actually nearly 100 years ago. So we're talking Caples, Schwartz, maybe in the modern era, Gary Bencivenga, but there are so many people who have added their input into direct response copywriting over the years, and they've crafted it and turned it into something great. So you have to write, keep writing, write 1 page a day, and you'll become great. There's training on a site called copyhour.com. I highly recommend it. So someone has found a lot of old copywriting proven ads. Use those and write them out, and then you'll become better at understanding why people have responded to those ads. You will internalize the lessons in the ads and how you can use them to help you write better. So getting clients to buy your copywriting services. You start with what's called spec work. So write the headline and the lead. If the client likes it, write the entire thing. So as a bit of an explanation, the headline is basically the topmost text, which is a bit bigger than the rest, and it catches the attention just like a news headline. The lead is the first few paragraphs, maybe the first 1 to 3 paragraphs, which is used to follow on from the headline. So if the headline is the A for attention, the lead is the interest, and you've got to build that up in the lead. Making it a riskless offer to your client means that there's a lot of pressure on you, but if they only pay you when your sales letter makes sales, then that is irresistible for them. So say something like that, and then you may very well have a client working who you can work for within the week. And again, once you have one good letter on the board, finding clients becomes a lot easier, because you have a client who will vouch for you. You have a letter which you can say pulls 3-4%, and it's an easier argument to make, because people can see that you're serious about what you do and that you can persuade with words. So I highly recommend being a direct response copywriter. It's something that I'm working at getting better myself. So by all means, keep learning about it online. This lecture should only be the introduction and not the be all and end all of all direct response copywriting. There's a lot of beautiful, forms of how you can write in direct response, and it just takes some time to really understand what it's all about. So please keep learning, and I hope you've enjoyed this lecture, and I hope to see you in the final one on the next lecture. Thanks again, and hope to see you in the next one.